You want to force a plant to grow, you perturb it. I see men as trees. When you want a tree to grow, you perturb it. You do things to it. You act on the environment to cause the plant to grow. So one way you can cause a plant to grow, and before I get into it too much, let me explain how some of us are in homeostasis. I told you I'm going to take you to school for just a minute. Homeostasis, I might have to read this because I was an English major, not a biology major. Homeostasis, a biological process that actively and constantly works to keep the internal environment stable despite external changes. And it's called a dynamic equilibrium. Okay, now that I got it in my head. So imagine a plant where all these things are happening to the plant on the outside, and the plant does just enough on the inside to stay alive, not to grow. I see men as trees. It does just enough to stay alive, but not to grow. So no matter what happens in the environment around the plant, it does just enough. I'm still here. This is just who I am. This is just how I am. I'm not going to grow. I'm not going to change. You can't make me. And Jesus, where the owner is saying, just cut that tree down. We don't need it. Jesus is the one that says, let me perturb it. Let me dig around and expose the roots. Because when he says dig around it, what he's saying is let me expose the roots. Let me expose, if I'm talking about men as trees, let me expose what that person's made of. Let me expose what they're really made of. Let me show them, if they're willing to look, at what they're really made of when all these things happen around them. This should be that time, God, that you give me to work with this plant. I mean, man. I mean, fig tree. But you're with me, right? That dynamic equilibrium. We do just enough to maintain, but not enough to grow or bear fruit. Here comes perturbation. It's hard to imagine when people say this is just who I am, and no amount of outward environmental changes have made them change. So we'll look at this person who is unnamed, and we can say that this person has had a lot of things happen on the outside, and instead of saying, maybe I need to grow my roots a little bit deeper, maybe I need to get deeper in the word, maybe I need to get deeper in prayer, maybe I need to get deeper in my relationship with God, they just stand kind of stout. Now, I'm not changing anything. I'm not changing a thing. And God says, y'all see it for yourselves, God said, I've been checking this tree for 3 years. So there's a time element.